Women's Power to Heal Mother Earth. I am Maya. We are the divine flame of Source that drums rhythmically deep in our chest, in the high heart of sacred intelligence that sustains joy, memory, and splendor in every cell. We are meant continually to refill love and light and breath from the infinite well of Prime Source, the God Source, the oasis of all creation that is woven together by the rainbow strands of love. Love is forever flowing in the underlying field of Source, poised and programmed to seize the chance to rescue and remind us to live in and from the higher ground of the heart. In a packed stadium, raging with the audience, rattling emotions of cheering, the competing, defeating, and conquering, a matador suddenly fell to his knees before the angry charging bull. The bull stopped, stared in the stillness of the moment, tears streaming from his eyes. He did not claim victory, he aligned, the kneeling and standing aligned in surrender. All hearts in the stadium were immediately synced in this one moment. As stillness swept through the audience, shocked minds, hearts agape, tearful eyes, sadness mixed with awe and wonderment, emotions thawed and transmuted into love. Victory arrived as a glimmering field of platinum light that glinted in the wetness. Victory turned a raging circus, suddenly transforming it into a choral symphony. That moment, that precise moment, when the victory of the ever-present underlying field of love from Source triumphed. The elevated heart was lifted into the light. We are living in this precise moment at this precise juncture of the raging circus and choral symphony, when every heart that awakens has fluent access to the open gateway back to self and Source. When we choose unconditional love to be our filter, all density transforms and the world around us lights up. As Lord Sananda puts it, purity travels on shared awareness, and shared awareness has no wires to cut. The unconditional love of the universe has always abided in our higher heart. When we fall into the lower vibrations of the raging circus around us, we take pause, breathe calmly, and visualize a pink golden light swirling around your body, and ask Source to refill your vessel from its infinite love. In this way, we rise again and again, as needed, into the space of love. Be not afraid of the dark and ominous experiences, for once we learn how to refill our vessel of light from infinite Source, we churn the darkness into clarity, the muck into light. Creation exists with these polarities, the raging circus of the lower frequency and the choral symphony of the high heart. This contrast has been our greatest learning tool in the 3D matrix, bringing about growth, humility, and expansion for ourselves in the way we relate to ourselves and everyone else. Understanding polarity as contrast instead of opposition teaches us to understand ourselves on a much higher level, accepting that contrast lies within our own shadows and our own light as a natural event. Seeing ourselves in all things, we unfold compassion for all beings. We learn to accept without condition, without judgment. This is so true of the contrast we have been learning in the 3D matrix, and we must thank the good old earth for this lesson. It is that we can straddle both darkness and light and convert and transmute darkness into light. Convert unhappiness into joy, convert disease into wellness, We have the power of transmutation in the heart source of the great and high love. And that is why the unconditional love that we forge now is the pathway. It is the river that erases everything that is not worthy of our true, pure being of light. This is the essence in the reality of the new earth. The crystalline reality supersedes religions as we know it by millions of light years. Lord Sananda, called Yeshua, Isha, Christ in previous incarnations, is the supreme energy reinforced within humanity to sustain this perilous transition and wondrous awakening within as we welcome the new earth. Sananda is not experienced as a religious figure teaching us to kneel in perpetuity. He is frequency vibrating within our soul, calling us to rise into fullness, into the wholeness, into the I Am consciousness. He is the frequency of divine rememory, the beloved guiding us to our new destiny. Fake religious savior systems are crumbling. Fake governance is crumbling. Fake knowledge is crumbling. Fake spirituality is crumbling. The elites are crumbling. The screens that had overlaced our visible eyes are crashing. The era of external authority has ended. Naelya of the Pleiadian shares this wisdom. Power begins as a felt thing, lower than thought in the long inner river that carries word between the heart and your knowing. You have a sense within you, older than language, that is forever reading the weather of your own interior. We are all relearning how to access and contain and control our inner authority, to stop short-selling and abandoning ourselves. We are learning how to live with open hands and in an awakened heart. We are reclaiming emotional intelligence, the compass within that always guides from the heart. The frightful monsters we have feared aren't external forces, but they were manifestations of our own psyche that we have been feeding and fattening. Lurking in the shadows of the subconscious, these emotions evolve into patterns that keep regenerating a struggle, deficit, defeat, addictions, and the looping of endless memory and rethinking of thoughts. To transform and free the self from these patterns, we must starve them of fuel. We must reimagine our new timeline and fill it with the thoughts of the new timeline. And we can do this daily by taking a sankalpa, or a sacred intent, every morning as we arise, that we will control or we will be governing the frequency of our thoughts because they are rising from the new frequency of who we are now, as opposed to the lower vibrations. In doing so, we reclaim the power of heart and can breathe easy as we bask in the choral symphony of our pure identity. I myself have started to do the thought looping governance to rid it and to refill my being, to remind my being of my new identity in great resonance and coherence with the higher frequency. We are renewed. We must own our new identity as well, in humility and simplicity, opening our hearts to unconditional love and raising our frequency is imperative if we are to successfully cross over into New Earth. We are here to rise from the deep slumber, hold the line for the planet, and stir each other to do likewise. We are blessed by the miracle of source beyond what we can ever imagine. More than 1 million starships, vast and radiant vessels of light, currently flooding our skies, Hosted by several enlightened species and their advanced technology, they are here to help humanity and Earth. An enormously gallant effort by the Galactic Federation of Light, who has congregated this gallant force from many galaxies. Gaia's anatomy and physiognomy are being reconfigured to protect the planet. The planetary axis is showing a notorious tilt, making the entire planet unstable. Immense damage to her heart and intestine and her very soul caused by the Archon's agenda, nuclear tests, bunker constructions, mimic architecture superimposed on the Earth's sacred stargates, robotic and synthetic structures imposed upon the body of Earth. There is no place on Earth where their rotten nucleus to subjugate humanity had not been planted. And all of these structures have caused the destabilization in the Earth's tectonic plates, which is heralding massive earthquakes, tsunamis, etc. The Galactic Federation of Light and its vast host of enlightened allies have been tirelessly dismantling all of these destructive systems while restoring Earth's integrity and along with it, humanity's integrity. Note: Season 4 is dedicated to the new Earth. In this podcast, in this time of the great unlearning, I recommend you peruse the transmissions of new learning on platforms like galacticfederation.ca and also the Arthurian Inner Codex, all of which can be found on social media. Thank you so much for listening, and peace be your journey.